This conference will now be recorded.
Can you pass them down, please?
Brenda printed out some of the items too, I think hard copies, but we'll try to share the screen so we can have it all up there too, as we're looking at stuff. 2 minutes. Good evening, thanks for coming.
Oh, yeah, here.
We don't, you just need to stand up, yeah.
The camera finds you,
The camera
zooms in on you,
Yeah.
It's sneaky that way.
doesn't
I would say that.
matter where it
Gotcha.
zooms in. It is that, I can't see that far.
Whoa.
And in, I mean.
Almost there. Okay. All right, it is 7 o'clock. Thank you for coming to the Town of Ennis regular commission meeting. Thank you for adjusting to the time. Mayor Lisa Roberts, we have our commissioners, Mr. John Way, Ms. Christy Ranson, Ms. Nikki Hankins, and Corey Hardy. So we'll go ahead and open the meeting with a roll call of the commission. Yes.
Here.
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 And, there's the Pledge of Allegiance. We will do that. All stand and remove cover. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Our first item is the meeting minutes from May 14th meeting.
I move to approve May
Second.
14th.
Second, any discussion or questions? No? Okay, call the vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion passes. I'm sure you all see, we do have a lengthy agenda this evening. I know sometimes we kind of run a casual meeting with sometimes back and forth. We're gonna try to keep it condensed, and of course, we'll take public comments. We'll go from there, but we'll just wanted to bring it to attention. Okay, next, agenda item is library reports.
Hello. Library is going very well. We went, just like the rest of town, 0 to 60 very, very quickly. A lot of people in and out the building every day, and it's a lot of fun. A huge shout out to Bailey. She has outdone herself again with a great summer reading program. She has crafted programs for summer reading for all ages. And she's built in lots of activities, including a 1-day-a-week science program to get kids in the door to help us promote that summer life. Her programs are so much fun, and our teaching reading and literacy in the simplest way possible. Just go out having fun. We couldn't be lucky to have an employee like David. And Hannah she's working really hard to catch up and put on some really good programs. We're very lucky that we have a library staff such as ours. I can't say enough. Facilities are all intact. We've done our spring cleaning. Eric and Ed did a great job on the sprinklers. The place looks amazing. We're working on the back beds right now to continue to build some outdoor seating. And I have almost finished our Montana 250 programming for the year. We have one more. Last night, we just had Leslie Budowitz, who's a Montana author from Big Fork, come down and talk to us about the Black experience in the early 1900s and how the missionary era created this intersection between fiction and myth, which helps us, and she writes about that and helps us understand Montana history. It was a good program. And we have one more in July, Philip Page. He is a cowboy poet coming from Sheridan. And he will, he does music, slides, a combination of media about all flavors of Montana. It should be a good one. Any questions for me?
Yeah, one question. The numbers look really good that, you know, your sessions and visitors. How is that trending year to year compared to last year?
So compared to last year, we're up probably 5%. It was a little flat compared to last year. But so far in the month of June, we're up over 20%, just from June to June last year. So we'll see how that holds.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Karen. Thank you so much to you and your staff for wonderful facility and programming. Okay, we're gonna move to Public Works. And then we also have Eric and Colette is Anderson from Great West Engineering is also on here. So with the department report, we kind of weaved in a report about the well house as well. So go ahead, Eric.
So, other than what's on my reports, I'm starting off, I'm hoping next week we get the roads jumped off, graded, rolled, and managed. I absolutely hope that happens next week. We did hire a new guy. His name's Corey. Seems to be working out really well. We're all three getting along well, so we're getting him trained in. He'll be, as quick as we can, our backup operator. I got full confidence in that happening. He's very capable. And it's been a busy week. You know, the well's going on. And unfortunately, I knew it was going to end this way, but here we are.
Yeah.
Like I had a feeling.
Why don't we have, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I won't get into it. We'll let Clint start.
So basically, we have to move, we know how we had that additive alternative. And that's where we're trending. And I got an email at 6 o'clock if the figures that were in the previous email were not correct. So, but anything else with other parts of Public Works?
Alleys, we're gonna get a jump on the alleys now. I haven't had much time for studying for this week test. I'm not gonna lie right now.
Okay.
It's been tough.
Yeah.
But it's gonna get done. We'll get there. It's just a busy time of year. We're motoring right along.
Do you grade the alleys too, or just the?
We really can't because of the width of them. But I do have a plan for that. I have talked to RDO. Actually, I have mini graders now that fit on a Bobcat. So I'm hoping that we can rent one day and go and get those leveled out and fixed up. But yeah, I want to get on the weeds. And
May I ask a question about alleys?
I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
What about the ones that have trees overhanging so that the fire engines can't get through and so forth?
Yeah, so we're gonna make a list now of that when we start out mowing. Those aren't the only ones. I was part of helping that house go through town, and it really struck me hard that the whole town needs a tree cleanup, including a lot of the alleys.
Thank you, Eric.
That,
Well, and it depends on where the tree is. If it's a public responsibility or if it's a private homeowner responsibility of where the tree is.
The particular one that I have in mind is in the private owner's yard, but it's a big tree with
Yeah,
big protrusions that are in the alleyway.
okay,
So it needs severely,
yeah,
severely.
sure.
So my plan is to make a list and we'll have to address that, but those are all gonna be owner-owned trees, so it's gonna be a big kind of a deal. But it's gotta be done. Just that, seeing that go down the other day was like, oh, wow.
But
I was-
yeah, and a lot of those bigger trees are those willows, which drop a lot of branches and.
Cottonwoods, yeah.
There are nuisance.
Okay, so, okay. Anything else regarding?
I have a question for Eric.
Yeah.
Do you have your lawnmower person on staff yet?
Yes, he's out mowing.
Oh, okay.
He has been, yeah. He's got stuff going on next week, so we'll cover for him next week, but he's out.
So you have 2 full-time plus the lawnmower?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Thank you.
And how many hours is the lawnmower kind?
He's right at 8 hours a day, Tuesdays and Thursdays when our sprinklers aren't running.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
And how old is the new guy?
You can't ask that.
That's against the law.
I had him lunch. He's a great guy.
Can you?
The Malama guy?
Are you grading now the roads? Like we're using our grader that town bought?
Well, they've done so well the way we've done them, and it's allowed us to go out and handle so much. I was hoping to do that again this year, but if it doesn't happen this week, that's the way it's gonna have to go, you know? We don't have the equipment to roll it, water it down, get it magged. We might have already missed the window where the mag people are in town, so it might be the way it's gonna be this year, which is fine.
But I guess my question was, are we using our grader that we purchased? in
We're probably
2024?
gonna have to, yeah.
Okay, and we're hiring it out or we're gonna do it?
No.
It works.
The hope is to hire it out.
Okay.
I mean, the past years, we've been shorthanded and it's been great. But the gravel roads have never been so good that I was kind of just wanting to continue doing that.
So even if you do hire it out, you still use the grader that town bought?
No, I don't think so. No, they use their own equipment.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's gonna get out this summer. I have a feeling that we're just gonna be the ones cleaning them up every once a week or two. Yeah.
But you'll do an initial, like, hire some pro road builders to come in
So
and
this, yeah,
get the base down and then do maintenance on it with the town's grader.
right. That's was the plan. They've held up so well and
is that realistic though to say of keeping every once or twice a week? Is that what I heard?
not really, but we're probably gonna end up being there. It's already,
Is that due to the mag chloride or?
I know it's so she, you know, they come around. I don't know, they're still here. So that's what really holds the dust and all that down
Gotcha.
and keeps them solid, keeps them hard through the winter. You know, we're able to actually plow them and everything, but it might be a different year this year. But we'll handle it, whatever it takes.
Thank you.
Okay, Colette, will you give us an update?
Yes, absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we started the well project. Construction is underway. They've been out there working for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to go through the financial side of things and have a discussion about the cost increase. But I actually, I'll start by just kind of telling you, so we started the project by drilling the test well, and I actually see it as a really actually a really positive change. I think there's potential there to get about twice as much water as we had originally anticipated. So we're closer to 200 gallons per minute, whereas in the original design report, we were anticipating 100 gallons per minute. If you go the direction that I'll describe. So the project included, we have a well out there. Well number 4 is kind of what it's called. And so that well, the base bid included development of that well and connecting it into the system. The base bid also included drilling of a test well to a little bit deeper depth, a little bit different construction of the well. So we started with construction of the test well so we could do some pump testing and monitoring of the drawdown in the aquifer in the existing wells on site. And so what we found, basically, we drilled to a total depth of 295 feet, and we had a different screening interval from 250 to 259 feet. And when we airlifted the well, we estimated a yield of approximately 180 gallons per minute with the potential to do that. While doing that, we did monitor from that existing well, and based on the response in that existing well, found that they are pulling from the same aquifer, which actually just informs, you wouldn't be able to run both of those wells. I mean, they're kind of connected, so you wouldn't be able to like pump both of those wells. So there's not a huge advantage of having 2 wells in that same depth. But the deeper depth of this newer well did demonstrate yield. And so what our recommendation would be is to eliminate that work originally planned in the base bid, where we would have developed that well number 4, and instead drill a new well over near the test well to the greater depth and the different screening interval, and aim to try to get more water out of the well from that site. Any questions on that so far? Nothing so far? Okay, so the challenging part of that is on the financial side of things, and I apologize, I pulled the wrong number for the additive alternate. I was looking at the bid tabs with all of the contractors' numbers, and I grabbed the wrong one earlier today. So I did send a revised email, but the construction, I don't think I'm on the screen here, but I'll just walk through the numbers. So the base bid construction price.
Maybe Karen, I don't think we have it, but is there a possibility for Colette to share her screen? Can you give her a permission to do that?
Can I just make her the presenter?
Yeah, if we make you the presenter, would you share your screen then?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's how GoToMeeting works, so we'll see.
How deep is this new well?
295. It's almost twice as the old one.
Okay, Colette, I think you're.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start with this screen here. Can you guys see some numbers up? Oh, wait, I have to hit share. Okay. So these, you probably can't see them very well. Let me see if I can zoom in here.
Yeah,
I can see you.
Can you zoom it in? Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe one more
Is that
time.
better? One more time. Let's see. See that okay?
Yeah,
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so this number up here, so this is the base bid cost. This was the bid price, so $638,000. The additive alternate was $232,350. As you recall, we didn't actually choose to award that yet because we wanted to do this test well and make sure we were really comfortable with how we were proceeding with the project. So the total cost there was $870,380, making sure that's summing correctly. Okay, so what we're doing is to eliminate some of the work that was included originally in the base bid on developing well number 4. So that I estimate, now I'm going to have to get revised quotes. This all just has come to light in the last like 2 days. So I'm going to have to get like revised quotes and everything from the contractor. So please keep in mind, these are estimates. But this is what I estimate we would reduce the base bid contract by about $125,000. We would recommend a couple lines. We'd go a little deeper than the additive alternate originally planned. And design changes noted up here. So we would, but we would reduce the depth of or we'd increase the casing, we'd drill a little bit deeper, we'd reduce the screen interval, and then we'd also abandon the well and the well number 4, but we'd also be able to possibly reduce the 12-inch or 12-inch to 10-inch recommendation. So those are some of the design things that we have to kind of finalize and then get new quotes from the contractor. So that new well might be a little bit more expensive. Right now I have $7,000 in there. So the other component, so that's kind of related to the wells. The other thing that has come up in construction, the contractor is also working out there on getting the piping stubbed in for the pump house for the building. And in doing that, and I wonder if I can, let's see. I was going to pull up a map, but anyways, we were going to leave the site from the pump house and just run along the north side of Golf Course Drive and connect down. There's like a hydrant down there by Fairgrounds Road. And so that's where we anticipated the existing 6-inch pipe to be near that hydrant to connect there. And then that continues on to an existing 4-inch pipe further down, or excuse me, 14-inch pipe further down. And then in our, once we got out in the field, so that information was just based on like the GIS maps and the schematic maps we have of the overall water system. We did survey the whole area and there was no indication of water main on the south side of the road. But since being out in the field, it sounds like our inspector and the contractor and Eric, I think, have worked together to determine that they think that 6-inch pipe is actually on the south side of the county road of Golf Course Drive, which means we're going to need to cross Golf Course Drive and then run the pipe down to connect to that 6-inch. So, and the reason I bring that up is because we talked to the county and they said they would require us to bore under the road, and we didn't have boring costs included in the project. And so I did talk to Commissioner Todd today, or I left him a message and we exchanged an email, and he said he's unlikely to waiver or offer a waiver from that requirement unless you can demonstrate something and also provide, substantial warranty on that patch across the road. That's the only way he may even consider allowing it to be open cut. So and the reason that's unfortunate is because drilling across the road is expensive. So I have in here an estimated cost of, a little over $30,000 just increase related to that. So that's what that, yes, go ahead.
The question.
Yeah.
Because I know it was like, oh, it wasn't on the map. I guess I'm just confused as to why wasn't it determined that this could be a possibility of going across the road at some point?
Before now.
Before now.
Well, I mean, as you know, it's underground infrastructure, and so we can only see what's on the surface. We didn't do any excavation during design, which is we don't really excavate during the design phase. And so we have what we base our design on is what we survey. So we call in locates, and then we go survey what is marked out there and what we can see on the ground. And so we did survey the south side of the street, but it's just, we just have the edge. There wasn't any water infrastructure indicated over there. Also, the existing schematic maps and GIS maps do not show a water main on the south side of the road. So they're looking to indicate to me during design that the water main was on the other side of the road. And I know, Lisa, earlier when you and I were chatting, you had mentioned that there was maybe fiber or something that they drilled through a water main in that area that maybe would have
some years. How long ago they hit a water main? Three Rivers hit the water main, and so do that. But I know the maps have been problematic. I think that's what happened downtown too. So I guess my question is, you know, if we know we can't rely on those maps, why wasn't maybe a little more work done to?
Well, what we do to typically what our approach is to, I mean, we do projects on old water systems all over the place. And, you know, you base your design on the best available information. And so that's, you know, what we did here, but what we mean that there is a chance that there's going to be a different condition than what we anticipated. We build an exploratory excavation so that we can, you know, find and verify the actual location of things. You know, I guess the only way that we would have probably known this is just to go out and start digging up ground. And, you know, I guess that would have been an option, but that's not a typical approach during a design phase. It's usually cost prohibitive. So.
Okay, so with this information, what kind of timeline are we needing to make a decision on this, and maybe we can work something out with the county. So when.
Yeah. I think that, you know, I think you have a little bit of time. The driller has finished the test well there off-site. The contractor, the general contractor, is, you know, working on piping and getting the stub outs for the building laid. And, you know, I think we want to make a decision on crossing the road, you know, sooner rather than later, just so we don't hold up the contractor. So, you know, continued conversations with the county and making a decision on that is good. On the well component of it, I think, you know, you could decide that at your next meeting. If we can decide sooner than that's great. That will determine, we just need to make sure we run it by DEQ, any design changes, and then let the contractor know so that they can then schedule their drill rig to get back out on site. So,
so we have to make a decision. Is there any choice?
Well, we could stick with well number 4 and get 100 gallons a minute, or.
No,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, what is DEQ standards for gallons per minute for both capacity?
the DEQ standard, the gallons per minute.
It's not a standard, yeah.
No,
There's no actual standard. You could spend this for 20 gallons if you wanted, but
Yeah.
the thing about it is 180 gallons is way better than what you're gonna get now.
Yeah.
To me, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer.
This is a no-brainer, but it's just frustrating that.
When these original bids came in really high, I knew this was gonna happen because we're going twice as deep. We drilled twice as deep. I mean, I've shelved it. I didn't know it.
Well, no. We didn't drill twice as deep. The other well that we were going to do, so you're thinking of the other test well. There's actually 2 test wells on that site. There is one in the shallow aquifer, but there's also one that's like, I think 40 feet shallower. That's the one we were going to develop. But if you go another 40, I think it's 40 feet, you get into some sands and deeper sands and pools, and we're able to pull more water. There's more drawdown. So we're able to, the yield increases.
So I guess it does, in my opinion, but we still need to, we would still need to approve it as a commission, as you would still need to approve it.
Yeah,
We can have a quick meeting next week
Yeah.
that's posted, and then this is the only agenda item,
Yes.
and go from there. And that maybe gives us a little time to work with the county and see what they would kind of.
I have a really good idea about this, so I would like to have a meeting with maybe us 3, because I actually have really good, I don't understand the boring at all.
Okay, yeah, well, I think this all happened like today,
Right.
so let's
Yeah.
get more
I feel you.
information.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
I have a really good
I think we understand,
make
does
this
everyone
easier.
understand what's happening?
Yes.
So the other option, so this is 32,500 for drilling, and then the other option is to do a cut.
No, they won't let us cut.
So you're gonna, you are gonna have to cut some of that path, because the pipe where it's set to lay out right now is actually right on the edge of that path. So you're gonna have to remove some of that. Also, in this, the rodeo grounds put up a brand new shiny chain link fence, cemented in, the whole works. That has to come out. our fence has to come out. Plus, you're gonna go, I don't know how many feet of that, you're literally digging on top of fiber the whole way.
Yeah.
Which is,
So it's problematic to go
Yeah.
along the south side.
it's very
of
problematic.
That road, so the preference is to be, so this all just happened today, so let's see if we can work something out with the county. And then we can convene for our meeting, cause that would take, the difference right now is approximately $42,000. If we can take, I don't know the difference between cutting across the road and boring, boring's 32,500, maybe it's only
Huge.
$2,500, I don't know.
It'll
I don't
be,
know. So maybe we can figure that out, so we would be looking at a different shortfall of only like $10,000. I don't know, those are just.
So if we have to patch asphalt regardless, does it matter if we do a little bit more patching over the road? Does it just make sense if we're already patching asphalt?
Well, so they're asking us to drill under the road, so we don't have.
There,
Sure.
I believe their concern is settlement. So if compaction, isn't good enough, I believe they're concerned the road will settle there. And so what I had kind of thrown out as an idea is that to allow open cut and then use flowable fill for the backfill and then put an asphalt patch over it. And it is my understanding the county already has it in the plan to come and chip seal that road in August. So, we could, that's going to end up being a really good solution, but we have to get the county's approval on that. And so far that, I haven't been successful there, but like I said, we just had the conversation today.
I have a question. And from what I'm understanding, I understand for more money, lots of problems, but in the end, you're doubling the production of water that you're going to get.
Yes.
So it's where it's produced is dollars.
Absolutely, and I think that's what we're leaning towards, but it's not on the agenda tonight, so we can't.
I realize that.
So, yeah. So I think there's just a couple things we need to figure out, so.
And Lisa, and as far as like next steps, what I need to do is we need to come to an agreement with the county as to what our approach is going to be here. And then I just need to work through a change order with the contractor. So, whatever that timeline looks like. And then I just wanted to touch on one more thing, if I could borrow 30 seconds more of your time. But as far as like potential funding sources, we had kind of talked about this when the bids first came in because they were high and we were concerned if we wanted to do the added alternate, what that would look like. And so, I was looking at the budget today, different options. I think, there's additional local funds. If you guys have, the money in your enterprise account, you additional funds to cover the costs, of course. The other thing is we do have other funding in the project that wasn't originally, we had kind of broken out for the tank project. So we could look at talking to RRGL. They have a $125,000 grant sitting there. We may be able to just divert those funds and use for this project. And then of course we'd have to, make that up in the tank project, but that we could work with maybe SRF at increasing that loan and loan forgiveness package and talk about that too down or a firmer grasp on what the tank project is going to look like. Also, we do have $10,000 in the budget for land acquisition for wells that I think that was put in there early on and never removed, but I don't see a need for $10,000 since you guys already have the land. So just a couple thoughts I wanted to share with you about the budget.
That's great. Thank you very much, Colette. That's really helpful. And thanks for joining us tonight. I know it's been a busy day getting all these.
Yeah, no problem. And sorry I mixed up the numbers. I tell you these ones, so you should have them all in front of you. We can follow up and discuss with the county and kind of figure out which direction we're going there. And then I can work with the contractor to get a change proposal pulled together.
Okay. That sounds great. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. All right. So we're all informed on that. Okay. Moving on.
this bid might be.
Is zoning and planning, Ms. Cody Mercer.
And nothing nearly that exciting.
Quite boring on that front.
Yeah, you've got a report for you in front of you from May. June has been a little bit busier so far, but Yeah, just the standard stuff, questions, complaints, concerns, all of the above. We did have, we didn't issue any zone site permits. We had one attempt, but there was a boundary issue, so you'll actually see that in a little bit tonight. So that's been resolved. You'll see them on your June report. We did issue 2 sign permits, and we had 1 zoning compliance investigation. So that's wrapped up now in June. 2 fence permits were issued, and then you can just see on the county business end, subdivisions and yeah, the new address requests, that's how many we've received in the month of May. So when you see that number on your report, it's just, we don't have building permits in our county. So that's our indicator of what's happening, is how many address requests there are for new construction. So, yeah.
Who does the compliance investigation?
That'd be me. Me, Eric is lovely and helps me on the ground too, but we always make sure there's 2 of us. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yep.
For that. So, clerk's report. Brenna is out this evening. She has been very busy working through to upload all the ordinances to the town website. She's been working on that. You can read a report. She's working with Kasia with Great West Engineering to complete the grant funding request forms. She resolved all the outstanding short-term rental citations. One property has obtained the required county license and another has a county inspection scheduled. Let's see. She's working on, so the last time our capital improvement plan was updated was in 2015. So she's working on a new format for that. So we can work through it and update it. So you can read all of what she did. She continues to be very helpful and really learning the job. There is a lot to learn in the clerk position. It covers a lot of facets. Kind of like, the administrative side of public works. They have to have a lot of tools and everything like that. So she's been doing a great job there. So, but yeah. And let's see. Yeah, and it's business license time, so she will be busy with that. So coming up. So, okay. And then also in there, the clerk's report, and then our next copy is the calls for service summary from the Madison County Sheriff's Office. Unfortunately, we don't have a deputy here to kind of walk us through, but you can see that they have been busy. So court has been busy too. So if you would like the docket, email Jordan and she'll send you the docket. She has a whole list that she sends it out, so you can kind of see what's in court on those days. Let's see, what is their next one? They always send 2 reports, the calls for service and the activities report. So it kind of just kind of more numbers there. So, warnings, they gave 20 speeding warnings, and then those different types of that. So you can kind of see more numbers. So they gave out 7 speeding tickets. And some other stuff. So that's kind of where we're at there. Next item is our budget report. We can first look at, expenditures is in there first. We're coming up on the close of our fiscal year, so this is just a snapshot of what is happening, of where we're at. So in one of the things that the Jodys, there's a Jody Campbell and a Jody Rogers at the Montana League of Cities and Towns. They are going to be fixing, you'll see that our permissive mills levy fund is out of whack. That is due to health insurance being paid out of just a permissive levy instead of being paid across all the funds. It was set up that way this year in the budget. It was allowable many years ago. but they changed the law, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago, but Ennis did not change its practices.
Question, that permissive mill levy is for health insurance,
It's only
right?
for health insurance.
But we have to pay for it out of all the funds,
All
not
the,
just
yes,
that.
yes.
So does that money have to come into that and then transfer to each department to pay for it? How is that supposed to work?
I can find out more. I'm gonna have Jody attend one of our meetings to kind of give us the breakdown, because we are gonna have some budget amendment items too. Just kind of going through the budget from this year, that there were some fixes that needed to be done. But I think it comes into the general fund,
Okay,
but then all funds are responsible for the health insurance. But
The auditors never caught that.
No.
no, so. Can't say why, but it probably should have been caught. So yeah, anyway, that fix is coming, but I just wanted to let you know that you can see that fund is overdrawn, but that fix is coming on that. And then we're also, learning to clean up some of these funds, like there's one of these gas tax accounts that can now just be rolled into the other one. There's no reason to have them separate.
I was under the impression that happened.
I don't think it's happened or we're working on it. So there's a couple of those funds that,
That was a few years ago.
well, it's still there. It was still there when I met with Jody last week. We'll be working with them to clean up some of that report, because there's some of those funds that, are no longer needed, like the Transportation Alternative Sidewalks Fund. That project was a lot of years ago. So, they'll be working on that as well. So right now, as far as expenditures and we've got a whole nother month to go. Across total funds, we're about 46% of our budget, but, a lot of that is water and sewer that we don't spend and stuff like that. So, and keep those accounts healthy. So that's our expenditures, and then our revenues versus actual, people start paying their property taxes. We're almost there. We're at 72% of our revenues for the general fund.
and have we got a projection yet on property taxes coming in for the next year, what the hit's gonna be?
So, we hosted the municipal summit today.
Yeah.
I'd like to sit down with, Jody and a gal named Jennifer Olson. And then there was also a substantial webinar that I only got about the last half an hour to, but it's literally kind of a stab in the dark. You take what you got last year and then you put it's this whole big formula. And since the taxable value, our medium home value, is determined by Department of Revenue, and then the taxable value is determined by them, is the first Monday of August. And then some of them they have to send out by the mail, so they say, definitely by August 15th.
Yeah, that's a pretty important number to build a budget.
It is, it's a very important number. So we're gonna project off of last year's number
Mhm.
and do the best we can,
Okay.
so, yeah. Well, okay. So we are, down a little bit on some revenues, but that's still with, some, property taxes coming in, those types of things. So that's where we are at on our budget report. Okay, claims.
I'll move to approve claims.
Second.
Any questions or?
What is a freedom and glory flag?
The flags. So
It's the brand, right?
It's the brand. It used to be Carrot Top, and that's who I always got the flags to, but they changed to Freedom Glory. Same
Freedom
company,
Glory.
different name. So our flags, they take a big hit. These ones, I went with the more expensive ones this time. Supposedly they got a 1-year warranty. We'll see.
And that's
Then
what
that's
we
what
do.
claim we had.
I mean, they don't make it too long out here. you know, so I'm hoping we can.
Yeah, do you have an estimate how many flags you go through in
Oh,
a year?
man, I bet 10 to 12,
A year, so one a month?
you know.
Really? One
I
a
mean,
month is,
they're a lot. Some of the months in the wintertime, they get hammered.
that surprises me.
But I've never really spent the money on the $70 flags, so I'm hoping this will.
They're better quality and
Yeah,
you'll get more longevity out of it.
yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question.
there's, you know,
What, the ice maker machine? Is that for like interior?
it's in the shop. I just replaced the one we've always had. We use the ice for hauling samples. The guys use it throughout the day in their water jugs.
Is it
We-
commercial? It's fine.
It's, you know, this big. I just replaced the one we always had. I tried getting a refrigerator somebody we had give to me. I tried bringing that in and getting it to where it would just make guys, but it turned into a mess, so. They are expensive, aren't they?
$750.
It's even smaller than the one we had.
Did the old one die or you just?
Yeah, it was pretty beat up. Even when I got here, I was doing this and that to get it going, and it finally had enough.
Oh, there was something to the county. What did we pay registration to the county for?
Trailer,
Gas exempt? We're not trailers, something?
a small trailer we
Oh.
purchased, yeah, for the plates, yes, but registering is at 25, right?
Oh, okay. I didn't know, thank you.
Our old lawnmower trailer really is pretty broke down, wonky wheel, so we bought a new trailer this spring.
Yeah, with that one was on last month's claims, yeah. So this is just the registration fees.
Right.
Do you have one, Myron, this is your time to shine, on the cheat. We were so close to closing out that cheat card. But then a subscription
No,
to an IT item,
no,
popped up.
on it. See if you find the IT item, cancel that, and then pay the card again.
I'm hoping to dispute the charge and see if we can, because I think it's a year subscription. So, but yeah, so there were, things, so we're getting close. So, we're almost
I
there.
missed that.
I don't think it's on, I'll have to see, I'll have to ask Brenna, because it just came in, so maybe didn't make the,
Oh, she said she was
Yeah.
waiting for.
so. So that is it. So Myron, we're almost there. I'm working on it, so, okay. Next item, public comment on non-agenda items.
Did you vote?
Oh, wait,
Oh,
Yep.
yes,
thank
good
you,
call.
Karen.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, next item, public comment on non-agenda items. And you can stand up, the owl can't, you can just stand where you're at and state your name. And the camera will pick you up.
Will pick me up, great. All right, I'm Cindy Gockel with the Pickleball People. And as many of you know, we have been working on building new pickleball courts for going on 4 years. So with a lot of perseverance and work, I am really pleased to say that we finally finished the courts. Yes. Yes, so I'm hoping I have invitations for our grand opening. Yeah. On Saturday, June 9th, next Saturday,
June 20th?
June 20th, sorry, at 9 o'clock.
So you're.
And I hope you can come and join us.
You're sounding like Bancroft. John Way Bancroft. Free meal, cake and ice cream?
Wonderful, thank you. Well, what an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other call for non-public comment on non-agenda items? Going once? Going twice? Anyone online? Public comment on non-agenda items? Okay, hearing none, we'll close public comment on non-agenda items. Okay, our next item is consideration of the Veland Minor subdivision final plat. Planner Cody Markser will walk us through that process.
Well, this is exciting. This is the first one of these that's been done in the county. So an administrative minor subdivision is a provision that your legislature created in 2023 in an effort to cut the red tape and allow for a timelier and more efficient subdivision process. They specified that if someone was proposing a minor subdivision, meaning 5 or fewer lots from one tract, and it was classified as a first minor, meaning it was on a tract that hadn't been created after 2003, so 20 years, and it was in an area where there is adopted zoning in place and there are no variances proposed to that zoning, they are going to comply, then it goes through an expedited process. So it did go out for public comment, but this expedited process means it came straight through your planner, which is me through interlocal agreement. I reviewed the preliminary plat, made sure it met all the survey and Montana Subdivision and Platting Act requirements. It did. I gave them conditions for approval. They have now met their conditions, and tonight you have the final plat in front of you. So I think you've got some documents. I tried to include everything. So a little final staff report, the record of decision from the preliminary plat, and then my staff report. So you can kind of see the findings we had to look for and all of that. So all of the conditions have been met. They've submitted everything. We've got the large copy. You've got a small copy in your reports there, but this.
So it's being cut in half?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So
Lots of there have already been cut in half.
Yeah.
It is not true.
there's no development on these right now. It's just 3 pads, concrete pads. So
Yeah.
Just gravel.
yeah.
So there'll be one entrance off of Madison and one
Yeah.
off of.
No entrance off Madison, I think, for those, correct?
No, one on the east and one on the west.
Those plots originally were supposed to be entered and exited off of Madison, and then all of a sudden now they
I
have Power
was-
Lane or whatever that other lane
I
is
was
via
told-
road. And I thought,
It's a road easement. It's a road easement.
yes,
Yeah.
but those originals were plotted with Madison as entry and exit.
If it's a road
Bauer.
easement, who maintains it?
The
County.
landowners.
Yeah, well, it depends, in general, it depends on who the ownership of the road is.
Yeah.
So,
So who
Yeah.
owns it in this case?
which road? Bauer. Bauer
So it's
is,
not a road.
it's an easement, so it's an access easement, which is not technically a road, but it is a way or a means of providing access, so.
But we're giving addresses off of Bauer.
Mhm. Yeah,
Is
I
that
always
legal?
have.
It's
Yeah.
not a road.
Yeah, but
I thought
For
this years ago.
instance, Hutchinson, next to
I bought it here.
Town Pump, same thing.
yeah.
That's not our road.
This is over.
It's crazy to me.
So
Those were all ones.
Yeah, but Hardy Lane is that way. Jefferson Lane is like that now.
It's
The
like
road
not
is-
in
Yes.
No, but it's the same thing between the each landowner and. Okay, a piece of that. So Roy Lanes is.
Or
The county.
even going out
Roy Lands.
Jefferson.
Concrete slab.
Ben's landowner,
They're
but it's
kind
county road.
That seems wild.
Oh, it's a.
Half of it'll
It
be,
drives me
you'll have
crazy.
to access Bauer.
I don't know, we're giving addresses.
That's
It's
not
not a
it.
road.
But nobody maintains
Not a road.
Bauer. So hopefully they ain't doing nothing to the winter home.
More subdivision, Michelle, about this now?
I always thought that entrance and exit was supposed to be off Bauer, not had anything to do with Madison.
No,
That's
this is
what
where
I've
I
always been told.
originally done
Bauer's
Madison.
not a road.
But it is, it's a road easement. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitions when you say like road. there's actual roads that meet like road standards that have been defined, but access easements function as an access, or in essence, I guess, by some definition.
So now it becomes city though.
No.
City's
Not
responsibility.
necessarily, no, oh, no, absolutely not. Mm-mm. No, the only time, if a road is proposed within a subdivision, which there's no roads within this. The only time those become county or city or a local government is if it's actually dedicated through the public process. It's very uncommon for a town or city
Yeah.
or county to adopt a road through a subdivision process.
Yeah.
So it generally doesn't serve anyone to maintain it.
Cost some money.
So this easement is normal.
Yes, yeah,
Like,
yeah, very
imagine,
standard.
imagine the North 40 happening again. Like, those are our roads, but they really shouldn't be,
So is this,
kind of thing.
is this,
Why shouldn't
is it in town?
Because
It's for the post office.
Near the post office,
It's
it's one of those lots I just.
It's a homeowner association. We should have nothing to do with that
Oh, yeah.
at all, in
True.
any way, shape, or
True,
form.
okay,
whatsoever.
we're getting, excuse me, we're getting off topic.
Same thing.
Okay. So we're getting off
True.
topic. All right. So, do I have a motion for the consideration of the Mainland Minor subdivision?
I'll move for consideration of the Veland-Myler subdivision for approval.
I'll second it.
Any questions, discussion, public comment?
I'll do a full disclosure. I am half owner of this property, so I will
Recuse
probably
yourself.
abstain from the vote.
Thank you.
Second, did you need a second? Did we second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikki?
I,
Aye.
Motion passes, approval of final plat. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Resolution 628.
This is what it is.
This is, what we talked about last, thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Last meeting about the consolidated use board where we had advertised it for, so now we're gonna actually move forward with consolidating all those land use boards. And it has a fun name, it's called the club, so.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck is this club thing?
With that, a resolution to create the Town of Ennis Consolidated Use Board, whereas the Town of Ennis has established a zoning commission, a board of adjustment by ordinance 131 per Montana Code annotated, MCA 76-1-221, and a planning board by ordinance 97 per MCA 76-1-101 and 76-1-221, and whereas the state of Montana has adopted legislation authorizing the town to consolidate a planning board or planning board, the zoning commission, and a board of adjustment per MCA 76-1-114, and whereas the town of Ennis has determined that it is in the best interest of the town and its citizens to combine functions of the zoning commission, planning board, and board of adjustments by establishing a consolidated land use board pursuant to MCA 76-1-114. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town of Ennis hereby approves the consolidated land use board as stated above. So that is your turn to pass it up. Unless you have-
I move to approve resolution 628-2026.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Call for public comment? Hearing none?
sorry, quick question.
Yeah.
5 members, 7 members.
5. Well, 5 is the minimum.
Thank you.
Good question.
Are we fully staffed, fully?
So that's my next question for you. If you ask this.
And, yeah, okay, we had a motion in a second. Corey?
Aye.
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 Okay. Resolution passes. Okay, the next item is to talk about the bylaws of the Consolidated Use Board.
So since you passed that, I have a legal notice prepped to recruit members. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay to post that?
Yes.
Okay, I'll send it tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Recruit away.
Do we need to talk about the bylaws or is that just it?
That's your next one, so,
Yeah,
yep, no, I just want to make sure you're following.
Oh, yeah. So, so our next one is the bylaws for the Consolidated Land Use Board.
Where did these come from? Were these originally the original bylaws of one that we just adopted, or
Yeah, so Montana League has a template. So I started with their template and then made sure to fold in anything else from the others, but then went back through both me and Jerry Grimmins from the league to make sure that it aligned with statute. So, yeah. You do have the option. So statute requires 5 citizen members, a minimum of 5. You have the option to do more. It's totally up to you.
No, we can't get
I think 5's a good number.
5 is good, but I'm
Three
just
would be
letting you
better.
know.
3 would be better, but 5 is good.
5 is minimum, yeah. So just so you know, I mean, if
We do.
you get in there at 5 and you're like, we really need more people at the table, there's always that option later. It's just the minimum requirement.
And they're 2-year terms.
Yeah.
Staggered.
I trust you, sold.
Do we need to approve these bylaws? Is that?
These were only for discussion this evening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you have thoughts, then we can put them on for adoption at the next.
Yeah.
We need to adopt it though, right?
You'll need
Yeah,
to
at
at
the
some
next
point, yeah,
meeting.
yeah. It's good when you've got a board that they have something to follow.
So if you see anything in there, submit any comments. Or anything that sticks out.
Me.
And there's no way to combine those with planning board or anything so that you don't have to have.
That's what this is.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what this is. Yeah, so this consolidated land use board combines the planning board, zoning commission, and board of adjustment into one.
That's,
Yeah.
But the mayor was mentioning to me at another time. so-
Yeah. Yeah.
Because how do you find that many people to do that many boards?
That's been the problem, yeah. So this allows a little bit of an out there.
so those will be on our, so the bylaws, we'll adopt bylaws at our next meeting. All right. First reading of ordinance 161-2026. This is the ordinance adopting the town of Ennis annexation plan. So the last meeting, we adopted our resolution of intent to adopt that, or now that, would you like me to read it? Or,
The annexation plan or
no, the ordinance.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this allows us to give a process to those wanting to annex administratively.
Do we need a motion on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve the first reading of ordinance 161-2026, adoption of annexation policy.
Second. Sorry, Corey.
Any questions, comments? Any public comments?
I have a comment. Yeah, I guess just talking about like one of our, I guess it wasn't essentially our last annexation was a grocery store, but the whole North 40 area, just whenever we do an annexation, just to talk about like the shortcomings that we had maybe with the North 40 or it's just as a discussion point, you know, we should learn from our mistakes in the past, so.
I think that's what this is. And then the subdivision rules are
Yeah.
a little bit different too. Yeah, but we're gonna be working, that'll be another part of us. And the Montana legislature, just when we get to subdivision, they, as I'm understanding it, they've moved to more of like, here's the model, here's the, I don't know, few things that you can tailor to your community, but really a lot of it is the same. It's very uniform throughout the state now, but there's a few items you can adjust, but most of them it's very, you know, so they're not all over the map anymore. So, which is, I don't know, good and bad. It takes your It doesn't,
Guesswork.
well, it takes the guesswork out of it. It becomes a little bit more predictable for developers, but at the same time, it does take local control out. You know, so like our legislature in the past, I don't know, couple, 3 sessions has removed a lot of the local control of what we're allowed to do. So, but then it does make it easier to administer and it does have that predictability. So there's good or bad to it. So, but anyway, that's subdivision regulations. This is annexation, giving a process and administratively.
Yeah, so to be clear, this policy or plan is just the administrative process so that people understand when they are looking at annexing. And it gives you a framework to work within of how to contemplate what's worked, what hasn't. What does this need to look like for us to make it happen? So,
Sure.
yeah.
And where are we at? Corey?
Uh,
Oh.
Aye.
I,
Ordinance. Then our first reading of ordinance 161-2026 passes. Okay, boundary line relocation. Cody Markser, one more.
Sorry, it's the Cody show tonight. I'm really sorry about that.
No.
Do you have a picture, a blown up picture of this one?
Yeah.
Right here. This one.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I tried to blow it up and it was all.
I went really hard.
It's literally like a piece of pie. It moves from this dotted line to this line. So they can fit their house on it and meet the setbacks. If you can't build over a property line.
Yeah.
And so it just cleans it up just the tiniest little bit.
So this is the one I was saying, we had a zone site permit application for a demo and a reconstruction. And when it came in, Eric and I looked at it and we're like, this isn't gonna work, it's going into the next property. So I said, your options are to modify your design, scale back to not only not cross the property line, but meet the setbacks. Or you can go through a subdivision exemption. So the quick little nerdy spiel on this. So in Montana, if you're taking one property and dividing it in any way, shape, or form, that's subdivision. There is a whole separate section of law that's called subdivision exemptions. And there's a few things that qualify as this. There is a mortgage exemption where you're creating just a slice of your property that's being mortgaged separately, but it's not an actual tract of record. Does that make sense? There is a family transfer. This is a one-time deal in the state of Montana where you can once and only once subdivide your property and gift that piece to a spouse, child, or parent. There's a couple others. There's an agricultural exemption. There's a couple others that we don't see that often, but the most common is a boundary line adjustment. Why it's stuck under subdivision exemption, I'm not entirely sure, but that's where the state put it. And that's literally moving a boundary line. So between two adjoining properties. Yeah. So when these exemptions go through, they're called exemptions because they don't go through a full review. You're exempt from the review process. They submit an exemption application with a survey to the county clerk and recorder. Through interlocal agreement, the clerk and recorder, planning, and sanitation review the survey and make sure that it meets the laws of exemption and sanitation laws and survey requirements. We are limited. We cannot impose conditions. We can't require legal access. We can't say you can only build something like that, nothing like that. So we can just simply say, does it meet the laws or not? Yeah. So once we do that, yes, it's good to go. Then it goes back to the governing body of the jurisdiction to sign off. And it's really, if they've met the condition or the criteria, it's a yes. So that's why this comes to you, because it's within the town. So this one, they're moving that lot line to adjust so they can maintain the design of the new home that they're desiring. Pretty simple, straightforward, so.
That's the house we watched move out.
Did they sell, it was up for sale, right, just for money?
Yeah.
And it's sold?
Yeah, so that little red house, yeah, so, and then they moved that red house off.
Okay.
And then they're gonna build a brand new home there.
I'm jealous, it's a great lot.
perfect spot, for sure.
So do we have to move to approve the boundary line relocation?
Yeah.
Should we have the address or something on this motion? Or what?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Madison River.
But that's the owner.
I would reference the legal description. You want me to?
Yeah, here.
So-
Well, the subject in the,
Yeah, you could just use the subject. Yes,
okay,
that
that's
would
what
be
I was
great.
like,
Yeah.
I don't
So the
think,
same owner owns both pieces?
Yes.
Yes.
In this
I was
case.
gonna
it's
say,
a lot
Yeah.
line adjustment.
And that's not
That's a
always the
great
case. It's-
that's what I,
Yeah, it's pretty common that two neighbors decide to do something,
Sure.
but yeah, this case, it's the same owner.
okay.
Yeah.
that's what I thought,
I move to approve the subdivision extension boundary line realignment of track 1 and 2, section 4, township 6 south, range 1 west, South 2nd Street, Ennis.
Second. Hello, Chrissy.
Is it at me?
Yeah.
Yeah, aye.
aye.
Okay. Okay, consideration of Long Branch traditional neighborhood development. This was continued from maybe the April meeting. Yeah. Yes, April? Yes, I think April meeting. Whatever. And so we had gone through the staff report and gone through the conditions of the traditional neighborhood development, which we could go over again. We did ask the owner to submit more detailed information on the design quality and whatnot. And so,
So we don't know any further if is this changed? Is she building it out further, like, to our
I don't
knowledge?
think the
it's all
dimensions
set?
have changed. I think
Not
it's
the
just the
dimensions, that's
design,
just that's a proof of like
The
a
facade.
picture of what
the materials.
materials. You're not looking at what it really looks like.
Because you had last requested that she submit some, like,
Pictures.
show us examples of the materials you plan to use.
yeah, but on this picture, this one here that she submitted, it's a totally different design.
It's a different design.
Yeah, it's not about the design, it's the materials.
Okay.
So,
It's
but I
not
think-
design, it's materials, because
Yeah.
she took that picture of another place.
Yeah.
And it's just, this is what the fence is gonna look like, and this is what,
Okay, and
does
the,
that make
yes,
sense? It's,
yeah.
it's more for, this is what the fence and the railing and materials are, that is not a picture of her building.
right.
Does that make sense? Choose somebody else's.
Well, that's kind of pretty much.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's just agree.
I just submit another picture. Because it kind of looks like her building, right?
It's not her building. Remember, she was asked to submit, like, what kind of materials, because we're looking for the Western character. So she found an example of what she would like to use.
Do we know, like, is it wood? Is it wood alternative? Do we know that kind of?
I feel like Tyson answered that at the first meeting when Tyson was here. He said what he was using as far as,
Gonna replace the existing stuff with similar materials on the lower portion anyway.
that was a long time ago, but I feel like Tyson did answer that. So,
I mean, I feel like how much longer can we drag this out, especially?
and this is up to the planning board, not up to us. I mean,
Well, no, it is up to us.
Right.
Or it is up to you. That's the question. Yeah.
with their recommendations and everything. I move to approve the Long Branch traditional neighborhood development application.
I'll second.
Here's where I'm at on this. This shows very little follow through, very little attention to detail, in my opinion. you know, the 9 or 10 requirements were never even addressed. And I don't even think they understand the 9 or 10 conditions that are put on this or even care. So it just shows a general lack of attention to detail, and sending 2 pictures without any description. It shows a lack of caring to push this through. I know if it was my thing, every I would be dotted and every T would be crossed and everything would be explained 4 times over.
And I forget, we touched on that last time. Who does it come down to make sure that all these conditions are met?
It would, right now, me. So the conditions of approval are, if the town grants approval on one of these conditional use or TNDs, there's conditions in place, but the permit or the approval does not become valid until those conditions are met. So that's how approvals work always. And if they're never met, then it's never valid. It's never an active.
So you will be following this through every step of the way to make sure every box is checked.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an active permit until the conditions are met, so.
We issue the permit?
The town of Ennis, yeah. Well, I guess,
Never gonna happen.
no, it's town of Ennis, but.
Should we run through the conditions, just so?
Sure.
Okay.
Just so we're all aware.
Just so we're all aware, conditions of approval, upon review of this application, the application for the zone site permit appears to be compliant with zoning requirements, including the TND requirements of certain conditions are required to adhere to. Am I reading in the right?
Yeah. There's
Okay.
14 in there.
Okay. Let's see, number 1, the application for zone site permit is considered binding and the project shall be in compliance with the representations provided therein, except as modified by these conditions or by agreement with the town of Ennis.
You're gonna read all those. That's tons.
No, there's 14. It's not that many. Any necessary approvals from the town public works department shall be obtained. The developer shall prepare and enter into a team agreement acceptable to the town. The TND agreement shall include reference to all conditions required by the town. All ordinance of the town of Ennis shall be adhered to at all times. All requirements of the Ennis Town Code shall, including zoning requirements, shall be adhered to at all times. All the applicable building and safety codes shall be adhered to. Are these the current ones?
As far as I
We're
know.
missing some there.
Because wasn't we deleted to?
Yeah, and we added grease trap, didn't we?
That was before me though.
Yeah, that's still down, that's below.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, these are
Okay,
current.
structural engineer plan shall be submitted when complete. The applicant shall adhere to all applicable required permits and requirements. All neighboring businesses will be notified 72 hours in advance of materials that will be coming from the Stephen Street. They do not plan on any supplies coming from Main Street. Written verification of temporary easements granted by the easement holders to the applicant for construction activities must be obtained and provided to the town prior to the onset of construction activities. Condition that written proof of the Department of Transportation that existing posts are approved. It will be covered in the state DOT permit approval. All hazardous materials will be handled in accordance with state standards and applicable permits. ADA compliance will be prioritized by the applicant and will comply with all applicable. Trash enclosures must be in accordance with 11-4-5. Contractors and subcontractors must obtain down business license prior to onset of construction. So those ones were written by Susie, but I think
No, these are
the ones.
These are the ones, yep. Mm-hmm. You just modified the ones that Susie wrote. I mean, there was a couple added new ones, but yeah. No, these are.
And then do we have the T&D requirement? Or is it agreement? Is that a separate document?
I think it's just it's these folded into like a form, is what it looks like.
So that's like your checklist before you issue this permit.
Mm-hmm. And everyone signs, well, the applicant signs it, the town signs it.
Does that make you feel any better?
When have we ever followed one of these?
I mean, the fact that Cody's gonna be the person.
We've given
I
a bunch
feel-
of these.
I feel
What's that?
more confident.
Followed them. True, but it's also a process. And nobody tore his fucking place down. Sorry.
Excuse me.
So, I don't know how you could, I don't know. You have to trust the process, and the process is here, and
Well, you've adopted a process, albeit many years ago. The process, right or wrong, is the process you are supposed to follow. I mean,
So is this up to you to reach out to her? Hey, do you have this? Hey, do you have this?
no, it's up to the applicant to provide the information back.
And if she fails to do so and
It's
just
not a
starts
permit.
doing stuff.
Then it's non-compliance, it's violation.
So she starts construction or the permit is issued.
Mhm.
And what is the?
Recourse?
Yes.
Yeah, I think within your reg, it's punishable, of course, it has to involve your attorney. And I would have to make sure that, it's 2013 was when that was written, I have to make sure that's still valid, but it generally is punishable with a daily fine and litigation in court and mitigation required is the standard, so.
So, I mean, we don't really want to go into litigation over any of this stuff.
I will say this, we've been through more. And for what it matters, if she needs something, I'm always willing to go and look. And we've been through this more than I've ever seen since I've been here.
Yeah, at some point, if you're gonna, to me, it's a here nor there if you approve or not. But you have to have findings, which way you go and why. Because you don't lose on process. If you're following your process that you've adopted publicly, even if it was in 2013 or 2016, whatever it was, you're set, you're fine. But if you're making an arbitrary decision, you have to justify it because that's where litigation happens and where you're not creating equality. So I understand that maybe the regulations leave a lot to be desired. I understand that the application leaves a lot to be desired. But we are where we are. There's nothing in your regs that says it has to have all this detail. It needs to look, I mean, obviously your zoning administrator can ask for more upfront and raise that standard a little bit. But we're here right now. This is what you have. So if you're going to say no, you have to justify the why and how it doesn't meet your regs. If you're going to say yes, it's the same conversation. So
if we approve it, we would approve it based on.
it's a conditional approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, every approval is conditional. It should be in land use because there's a requirement and requirements that the applicant has to hold up and prove that they can meet those requirements to move forward.
So the motion should be made with condition then? rather
Yes.
than just a motion.
Yeah, approval with conditions 1 through
Oh, the
14.
T&D with conditions.
I have a question. One of the conditions is that she notifies the neighbors 72 hours or whatever. So that's I mean, how is that gonna be like, she's gonna be notifying the neighbors every single day. They're bringing wood today, they're bringing plumbing stuff today, how will that be monitored to say that, okay, yes, and then what's neighbors? What, just the people directly on each side of her? Like, if that's one of the conditions, I think it needs to be like made clear what is expected of her.
And that's fair. So in land use, you can only typically apply any requirements to adjacent landowners or affected landowners. So in this case, adjacent would be clearly what's adjacent. Affected would be anyone utilizing whatever.
Whole circle.
And also,
Right.
but also the person's easement that she's gonna have to be crossing.
And that's one of the
conditions.
conditions.
That's one of the
Yeah.
conditions. And she has-
Right, but how is it gonna be followed up to make sure that
So it
that's being done
requires,
every single day?
so it wouldn't be on a day by day. So typically in these, when someone's gonna decide we're gonna start construction here, they have to set a date range. Construction will be this day to this day, whatever that may be. And then they have to provide proof that they've notified 72 hours ahead of that date
For that whole date span?
for the date span.
Okay.
Yes, not on a day to day.
And like written documentation to each.
Always written, yes, always written.
So is that some of the reason why we need to move towards having different type of building code and inspections and so forth, so we don't have like these buildings that are sitting with wrap on them for 5 years and some of this stuff is, I mean, I realize this is bringing another subject in, but I'm seeing that.
Yeah, we need to.
It's leading into other problems that we have.
But I think, we'll need to stay at the subject on hand.
Yes.
And so,
Do you feel that it matches the existing downtown? I mean, that's the big thing, the western feel and that's what we kicked us down the road the first time on.
I mean, judging by this picture, it looks just like a generic building.
And
Granted, we know
this.
this is
So-
her area or her building.
So we
But
could,
that's not what it's gonna look like,
There's a tie-dyed sign downtown.
yeah.
That's not Western.
Yeah.
The design is the same that we've been talking about, it's just,
Across the street.
do you guys feel that it matches what is downtown and preserves the character of downtown?
I think there are worse things than
Yes.
tie-dye sign. I know something is removable and it's not permanent, and I understand that. I understand where you're coming from.
I think your challenge here is if you're going to say that the images she submitted as materials she wants to use that are from across the street aren't gonna match, you have to justify why it was okay for them and not.
No, I'm saying the general design, because that's what we kicked it down the road originally on was.
No, we're taking this down the road because you are personal over this. The design of the building, we did not fight with 3 meetings ago. This is, you have to trust the process. I'm sorry you're upset about this, but I think we have to approve this with the stipulations and the
could
conditions.
we specify that it has to be wood? Because, I mean, that was a great point the mayor brought up, that is it wood? or is it
Tyson said this
plastic?
in the first meeting, if,
I
like, he
think
did,
well, if you said,
clarify.
okay, but did he say it, or was evidence provided of it and saying this is what?
did we
we're
do
gonna
this to other people?
Yes.
Okay.
And it doesn't hurt to put it in.
You could
that
add a
it's wood.
15th condition that this is if you so choose to approve it, with the example materials provided on whatever date they were, with those being wood materials. Yes, you could specify that. And why, but in these minutes, why? Why are you saying wood?
And it
Wood
cannot
as
be
it is.
design standard. We have no right to say that we don't like the design of it, is that correct? According to our code?
I don't think it's that, it's, you don't have a provision for what a specific design looks like. And you don't have building codes. So you can't, anything is gonna have to follow state building codes, but you don't have your own building codes to enforce. So you have to just refer to the general of the state, which you've done in the conditions. You have in your design standards, Western character, the block light, certain signage, but you don't have specifics of no balconies, no patios, no railing. You don't have that in there.
In my opinion, I don't think this is any less Western character than the 3-story buildings that can't sell.
Those weren't part of the TND.
Yeah, those aren't.
That was a conditional use permit, that's
Yeah.
a different,
Yep.
a different.
Team D was Gennaro's,
And
directions in the back.
Everything on Main there.
everything on that core
Main Street,
commercial area is the traditional neighborhood development, so the insurance building.
Well, Thurston, I don't think I was on the commission when Thurston was approved, right? But I didn't seem like they had.
They came a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, and
I
they
wasn't
came
on.
with like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they came with a
And they
lot.
showed
And I
it.
did this years ago because people came with a ton and then Roy Lights came with nothing and I wanted more. And then I was in trouble for asking for more because we can't ask for more.
So,
Question, he just got mad.
Oh,
He got so mad at me.
Anyway, we're getting out of absolutely not. My only concern is that how it is being represented, I just want evidence that it's gonna be, those are the materials that she's going to use, and that they're not written down. It's not like, this is what, the roof is gonna be cedar shake. There is not a clear plan for that to be done. That is my concern. Like, if it looks like the picture, great, but she hasn't spelled it out.
On the last T&D, was that spelled out?
So Cody, what are you gonna do when you look at this picture and you look at the building and you're like,
Well, I thought,
looks relatively close,
let me
or
look
is
at
it?
the application. I thought they had some specifics in their designs.
I can't imagine it could be too late. At least say what the material was. I mean, pictures
You
is
could,
fine, but
you could do that as well. I mean, you could add a 15th condition that they provide a list of materials,
samples.
including, yeah. I thought I saw one somewhere at some point.
But essentially, we're still not seeing the
Yeah.
overall picture
No.
of what.
When that Thurston building came, they had the look, I mean, it was easy to say yes. Because they had designs, they had a list of materials, they had, this is going to be this is going to be this is, I mean,
So
all in that list.
can we table this and request that?
No, because we said,
Just under any of the conditions, you can't ask for better drawings or better plan.
I don't think they're asking for better drawings, or they're asking for the materials.
for materials list, yeah.
And she was supposed to, I think, when it was tabled in.
Pictures, or what the railing or something would
She
look
was
like.
asking.
And it actually still doesn't.
Pictures, not a material list, not,
But can I say that this also still does not depict what she was explaining, the wood framed cattle panels? This does not
I
show
don't-
any of
I
that.
don't-
I think she switched. I think,
she,
my understanding is this is what she's
she
proposing.
went from
Yeah,
big butts
the
to
same
railing to this
drawings.
railing.
But this isn't,
The
like, she
same,
should be here to say, correct?
I know, but we can't.
you
make
can't
those
require someone to be here,
either.
but would it be easier? Yes.
Well,
Here we are.
well, that kind of throws a huge wrench in it, because if she said she was gonna do something and then she's completely switching the design aspect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How
Could
do
we
you
not
I
say
mean,
that it's exactly as depicted in the regions? So the upstairs looks like that, the downstairs looks like that.
Well, it probably will, but how about the sidewalls that we were all worried about MMA looking? And if they're really gonna be framed in wood.
Is she gonna
are
do
they
that?
gonna
I think
have-
she's very serious about thinking that.
Like, there's nothing, there's no walls.
Yeah, and like, I think this is currently cedar shakes on the building, is that staying on that little overhang?
That, I get the gist that that is still just the cedar shakes, but, I mean, I don't think she's gonna brick it.
So I guess that the side railings, because of shear, are gonna be passive.
Is she gonna do that though? I thought she wasn't going to do that.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I don't know how we make her.
Well, that's the question of her design, we're allowed to ask, what is the design? You're allowed to ask that, what is the design? And since she's flipping and she's not here to answer the question,
Okay, so we can just
I
make
think-
some assumptions and say that.
I wouldn't.
Well, not assumptions, but you make them
As
conditions that the sidewalls are these railings.
Well, I think that is the pitch. Maybe I'm recalling incorrectly, but I thought where we landed was at the last hearing or meeting,
What the
you
hell?
were asking for full wall, you can't require full walls. Like, she has to meet the state codes. You don't have codes. So as long as she's meeting the state codes, and then it landed on show us pictures or drawings or whatever of the materials you're going to use.
And this
She
is what-
still has the same plans.
Yeah.
The plans have not changed, it's
But
the
the plans
materials.
have, but the plans have that hog paneling.
The plans have,
The dimensions of the plans are the same. The plans in the application are simply specs, they don't have materials. She has pictures as like, this is what I started with, but she's got
Doesn't
actual,
she have the
engineering?
elevation?
yes, but not, it doesn't say hog panels, it says elevation of the railing and
And
so
it's-
now
it's
she's
different,
proposing-
right?
so without clarity, you can't hold them to anything.
what?
without a list of this material is gonna be here,
Yeah,
there's nothing to hold them to.
right. So you have the option of adding another condition. Well, you can do it one of two ways. You could add a condition that says conditional on a list of specific materials to be used that must be limited to this, and whatever you think deems Western character materials. Or you could kick this one more month and ask her to bring it herself. But at some point, you have to make a decision either way and just justify it. I don't care what it is. You're gonna get yourself caught here in the weeds of nothing.
In a circle. So,
If
I mean, based on that, do you want to create another condition that, based on that photo, that the roof overhang remain, is cedar shaped? There looks to be,
No cattle panel at all and just slats, or how do you call those?
this railing.
Well, it's no disrespect, but none of you guys are really builders, so how can you determine what materials you think she
Well,
should
and what is,
use?
yeah.
And also, wasn't
Or
it
maybe we
pitched
ask her
elevation?
for, yeah.
The side rails, weren't they pitched, so it got,
I don't think the rails were, I think the
The
roof was. Yeah.
so it's
you want
only
to create
42 inches all the way around. And is that what? I feel
It's
like-
whatever
That's
the
what state
state
code
code
is.
dictates.
But on the original drawings, wasn't there like an elevated, yes, wall?
So you had an original drawing, I'm just trying to go back to 20 years ago when my husband built the Lone Elk Mall and our trips to Helena with designs and whatever that we had to do to the state. And
There is original drawings and plans.
Yeah.
Where can I see that? So that's just straight across.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not remembering that. And the planning board asked her to please use elevated, and maybe they didn't ask for cattle panel, but they wanted elevated sides.
Hardware, I think, or something.
They wanted elevated sides
Or
for.
they wanted they wanted drawings with elevation.
Yeah, elevations.
Yeah,
Drawings with
Yeah,
elevations,
is what
yeah.
You need drawings with elevations and a list of materials. And you've got nothing.
Well, she
No,
does
we
have,
do.
she
No,
does
we
have
do have those.
elevation, she
Yeah.
does have elevation.
We do have
They
those.
can't determine the materials.
I mean,
To determine what materials she's gonna use.
I don't know. So, I mean, it would be nice to know if the cattle panel is still existing or not, like how do we?
Cause even this,
It's not complete.
so here's, okay,
Willy-nilly.
okay, so here's the
She
thing.
turned the pictures, you wanted pictures, we didn't set any more, like, you guys, we're starting to
I
get
think that's the
into.
thing, if we're gonna kick it again, which is fine, you've gotta be clear what you need, and that's what you're limited to. You
Can we-
can't keep asking for
Can we
more.
deny it and say no because the design is not actually given to us?
No, because she's provided what you
Design.
asked. You asked
And
for
then we have
pictures.
And she's put the
But here's
pictures.
the thing, so on this elevation, so that is provided in with here, this looks like the picture, so, yeah, if I'm wrong, and maybe I can print this so we can look at it. This looks like that picture, like it is, enclosed, if I can. I don't wanna print all of that.
Okay, so I guess then we can put it in the condition. Do we want her to have the walls on the side or not?
You can't do
I don't
that,
You
it's
can't do that.
conditions.
That is not in your code. That's a state building thing.
I mean, we have to call the question tonight.
Sooner or later, we have to vote on this. Sooner or later, we have to vote on this.
That's fine.
We can kick it down the road again, but
That's fine. I mean,
still, sooner or later, we're gonna
But
have.
what are so we can just keep adding more conditions that ensure that
Not,
we get.
but to a point, we can't design aspect of.
So this is where I'm confused, Cody, because if you look at this elevation, which looks like this here, which is part of her plan, is this front wall, it looks like there's doors, does it not?
I think
There
that
is doors.
this opens it up.
I know, but okay,
So the bar is in the back and it's gonna have like accordion doors,
Maybe
and then
not.
the patio up front is
Okay.
all open.
okay. Guess it's just hard to see the
Right?
depth.
Yes, the depth, you don't see in the depth, but it's, I think that's the same picture.
Am I wrong? That's the bars way back there, accordion doors, and then the majority of the platform
Patio.
is patio.
Open space.
It sounds like there's still confusion, so I would suggest that you schedule this for next month, but I need a list of what she needs. And that's what you're limited to. Like, you really don't want to get in this pattern. It is not defensible. Like, you've got to be specific what you're looking for. If you have reservations on the project, just state that, but you can't keep nitpicking and looking for more things.
Can we add the condition of materials?
Yeah, my concern with that is you don't list materials that are okay and not okay. Your only thing you have is what's Western character, which is super subjective. So what would a list of materials matter if you have nothing to say this works or doesn't?
Sure,
Well,
we would have,
it's based on her picture that she provided.
That looks like the other buildings downtown.
But again, still, like, you don't have anything that says it has to be wood, it has to.
even the shakes, you would have to specify the thickness of the shake shingle.
Right.
If you're going to go that route. Currently, she can use any type of shake shingle she wants to. She could use paper thin ones, or super thick ones, or plastic ones, or metal ones for that matter. Are those metal? I don't know. What is that material made out of? Is, I guess,
I mean, as long as it's not bright pink, does it matter?
Not according to your code.
Right.
I mean, I think these things are good because it exposes in your code what's not working for you any longer. But it's still what you have, so
You've got a long ways to go,
I'm sympathetic to where you're at right now.
but you're in a
But-
corner.
Yeah, but your battle is with your code. So
Yeah.
you either have to you gotta figure
But
something
you
out.
did that 10 years ago.
Hey, I tried.
I know. We tried on
That's
that.
the one thing, honestly, that's the one thing that if we could get a definition of what it looks like on the ground would be super helpful in moving forward. And what does that mean? What does small, or what does Western character mean to the town of Ennis? Does that mean board and batten sided? Does it mean,
so even to.
but that doesn't
drawings,
help us now.
Even to ask, could I bring, if I had a Main Street property, could I bring a Crayola drawing and just have arrows pointing to it of what the materials? I mean,
Well,
that's the thing.
Yeah,
It's been tried.
your code has a list of what's required, but it doesn't say it can't be in Crayola, no.
Yeah,
No.
right, let's have
Yeah.
grand drawings.
So, I guess, I don't know, I would say, that it is wood materials. I think that's totally reasonable. And then that the railing is, she said it would be 42 inches, whatever the minimum was.
I think she said 43.
Right, 1 inch.
But it still would just have to be what state code dictates. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, is that, I guess I'm gonna look at the fence again, if it's the picture of the fence.
Is that the height of the railing even on the sides, or is it just the height?
Yeah.
That's all the state code says.
Just on the sides and in the front?
Yes, but
Her picture-
originally
her
we have
picture
railings on the sides, but who knows with all the can chicken.
Have it higher.
A portion of it. I mean, there's
Because
still
that
the
picture
initial.
doesn't have any sides, so.
Right.
And what is the
It's a
distance?
front picture.
I'm just trying to figure out how long the patio is.
Oh, I think it shows on one of those.
It's 2/3 of the,
Yeah.
She can't change the end.
No, I'm not, I was just.
She can't. Unless you're changing the whole
I
plan.
mean, there is some,
This is agreed with the stipulations of this. She could change the picture of the railing and the hot paneling.
I don't know,
But
is
she
there,
can't change the conditions
but she
that have
doesn't
already
have,
been
let's
set.
say on this, but there's no, I can't see like links.
But I also.
Yeah,
I
okay,
have
that's
the
the one
same-
I have in here. And where did
But
you just
we
send
can't-
pictures of that one?
Open it up.
So I'm trying to understand in this picture that's depicted, where are those small squares in the pictures coming from, or the windows coming from?
Probably valve panel. Or hot panel.
Because those aren't going to be, I wouldn't imagine they would be divided like windows.
You can put that, you can buy glazing however you want it. It can have little 1 inch by 1 inch squares.
No, I
or-
don't know, exactly.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
Is there any conditions that we can add on to it that would make you feel more comfortable?
I don't know, the conditions that are there, I don't think will ever be met.
So there we go.
Trust the process.
But no one's ever, we've set conditions before that weren't met and we've got,
New era.
Trust the process.
It is a new era, we have.
I know, but
So if the public works employee is kind of I don't know, maybe I can't even say that. If people are paying attention to the project and there's conditions that aren't being met, call you?
She's not even
Call the
gonna
town.
approve the permit until the conditions are met.
Yeah, it's not.
We're approving that they can then get the permit. They have to meet the conditions to get the permit.
It's not active until the conditions.
Conditions are met.
So if,
Fair.
We're just
so if
approving that she can move
starts
forward.
before she gives the okay, they're out of compliance.
Because it's not
And then
technically a
can we
permit.
issue stop build?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like every approval you do on anything. It's not active
He's
until,
got a code, he'll.
it's not active until the conditions are in place.
You don't have an active.
Okay.
And so at that point, if something's done, whether it's been talked about or not, if something's been done before that permit is active, it's a violation. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of permit it is. And I understand maybe historically there's not been action behind that. That would be an error because your code is specific. And why have a code if you aren't enforcing it?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I mean,
I trust in Cody.
well, you shouldn't trust in me. Trust in yourselves because you have a code. All you have to do is follow it.
And is it our attorney issues the stop bills and?
Usually it's from the zoning administrator, but in my experience, if there's a violation or something like a cease and desist, of course the attorney needs to be at the table, yeah. Because that's who's gonna have to defend it if something goes wrong, so. But there's a process, it's never an overnight, so, I mean, in any violation,
And if we approve this, Cody's gonna have to explain to her that these are the conditions. I know you don't understand, she thinks they get them and everything. And then
it doesn't matter, it's not
still-
active until, it's just like a subdivision, I can't take it to final plat until you've met all your conditions and prove it.
And there's also no time frame on this condition approval, right?
No.
Like if we approve it, she could do this in 5 years whenever she wants to.
Well, you could put a date on it. I mean, you could say, I don't think you have anything that
And
speaks
would
to,
this transfer with ownership, I guess would be my other question.
your code doesn't specify that. Typically in zoning,
Should we do a year on this?
typically in zoning, permits run with the land, typically. So just keep that
Run
in
with
mind.
the what?
Run with the land.
Okay.
So what is,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what is
So that means it stays with the property. So if you did a conditional use permit on your property and decided not to do the project, to build a garage or something like that,
Sold your property, somebody else can use your permit.
yes, yeah, it runs with the land itself, because you're not granting the permit to the person, you're granting it to the property. So, you could put a condition, I don't believe you have anything in your code that talks about timelines. You could put a condition that you have 1 year to meet the conditions of approval and initiate construction. I think you have to be a little bit careful, because in our market, sometimes it can take people a long time and depending on weather, so
But then she could always come, a year expires, they could come for another.
You could
How
grant an
much is-
extension, yeah.
Or an extension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now,
How much is what?
like this permit, like this project.
Through the town, did she pay?
Like if we do a year, we're not putting somebody like,
No,
to redo this.
no.
Okay, so doing a year.
No, but when you give someone like a year to meet the conditions, it's,
It's
Yeah.
an you grant them a extension.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
probably be a good idea to put a time limit on it.
probably on every permit, honestly. I mean, I don't grant anything without a timeline.
Do we not have one on here? It's
No.
1 year,
No,
Are
on
they-
anything.
So we need to put that in as a condition.
So,
If,
so this was, so zoning permit sketch plan review, is $200.
The thing is, if you did say you have a year to meet these conditions or activate this permit, if a year goes by and the applicant isn't ready to do that, for whatever reason, doesn't matter, but if they're not prepared to do that, you don't have a mechanism, because you don't talk about that in your code. You don't have a mechanism to say, we're done and we're starting over. You'd have to keep working with them to,
okay, so
if they have
can
justification.
you say a 1-year approval and then with the option for an expansion?
Yeah.
Extension.
Yeah,
6
Yeah.
months
because your zone site permits have expiration dates on them and they're a year, so you could tie it to that.
right, so they're gonna be asking for an extension if they don't make it happen anyway.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then you can do like extensions of 6 years, 6-month increments, 3-month increments, I mean, right?
It doesn't say in your code, so.
So we can have.
If we have the bill done by next year, then it could.
Right,
Mhm.
but so we can make this a condition, right? This is a legal condition that we can put,
Number 15.
number 15, and ask for. Yeah, everything has to be met within 1 year and.
I don't think it's an issue, honestly. I mean, it behooves applicants to get their conditions met and get a permit.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't, it just doesn't happen. So it's like,
They can't use the space.
no, they can't do what they're
So
trying
that's
to
just
do.
gonna
So
be,
that's the motivation typically. It's a here nor there.
Well, I feel comfortable with the addition of this other last condition. That she has no choice but to adhere by the conditions before she gets a permit to build. That's my personal.
So do you want the condition number 15 to say 1 year?
Approval of the.
To get the
To get the conditions met and then
To commence construction.
to commence construction and then 6-month increments.
No, I don't think you
No,
can.
I just say,
Just 1 year, just 1 year.
Okay,
and I think just for continuity to say wood siding, wood shingles, that's how I'm interpreting this. Wood siding, wood shingles, and wood and metal railing.
and we can say that?
I mean,
Yeah.
how are you interpreting? Yeah, I guess, and that's how
We
I'm
have
interpreting
motion.
it.
We have no
so.
idea.
What's
how to
that?
interpret
Did you
it.
amend the
You
motion?
would have to,
Yeah, so you have to amend your first motion, and then are you so you're adding a 16th condition?
I have to amend it or can somebody else amend it?
you
You
made it.
nailed it, you're on a roll, get it, girl.
I know, hold on.
Are you
15
15 and 16.
would be
Finding that
Uh,
wood.
1 year.
1-year approval of
Or you can do the materials first.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
Real wood.
wood.
We'll hear about what you would like to reflect in the notes, please.
That's what,
The fence is, or the railing is wood and metal.
material material used.
Will be real wood.
Gets- is-
Well, I don't think it says wood.
Is this
I don't
right?
think it's accurate.
I don't know.
Wood siding, wood shingles.
Well, you know, wood,
Ma'am.
wood siding,
Right.
wood shingles, and wood and metal railing.
Cody,
Yeah.
Wood roofing shingles.
am I listing all this? Is this right or?
Wood shingles.
Okay.
That's right. I would include materials must match design photos. provided in the
Materials used
application,
must match
Including,
Wood siding,
design.
wood shingles.
Photos submitted on,
Photos.
I need to find that date that they were submitted on.
And wood and metal.
I can find it.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm assuming a lot of people.
Materials used must match design photos. Wood,
Submitted,
metal,
yeah, submitted to.
Submitted.
Date.
And what's the last condition?
wood, metal, and what?
Wood and metal railing on sides and the front.
Is this okay then?
Signing the place
Yeah.
order?
Okay, and then 16 is gonna be construction, permit must be obtained and,
No,
Conditions must be met.
We
well,
could,
yeah, but
I
the
would word it,
conditions are met is the permit.
yeah, I would
Conditions
word it
must be-
instead, like conditional approval is valid for 1 year and leave it at that. Because then it's approved or it's not, so.
So I amend my art. Huh?
I don't understand how you're gonna demand that they use wood if there is something that's more durable,
Well,
that looks like wood.
I think we leave it, materials used must match design
I tend to
photos
agree.
submitted,
Yeah.
I agree.
not listed in materials, because then we're not getting ourselves in any kind of pickle. Okay, so
I agree.
as long as they're not planning on putting bricks right there.
I
it's
moved
kind of
to
looks like it
amend.
Could be bricks,
my,
or the shingles,
oh,
it's, I know.
well, do I move to amend my motion? He won't help right now because he's mad that we're doing this.
No,
That's
you
fine.
made the
It's
motion,
fine.
you need to amend it.
I know.
You need to
I'm trying to figure out how.
Just say I'm moved to amend my motion.
To approve the traditional neighbor. I move to amend my motion to approve the Long Branch traditional neighborhood development application and add condition 15. Materials used must match design photos submitted. And condition 16, that the conditional approval of this project lasts 1 year, expires in 1 year. Can it expire?
Is valid for.
Is valid.
Can I repeat that back to you?
Yeah,
He hasn't-
please.
And I think it's conditional approval.
Yeah.
Conditional approval is valid for 1 year, sorry.
But the
It's
the
not valid.
motion is to amend that, the motion is to approve the Long Branch.
Amend the conditional approval.
Oh, wow.
Right.
See, I'm not the only one confused.
Okay, so Ransom moved to amend the motion to approve the Long Branch T and D, spell that out. And what did you say, Cody? To conditionally approve the Long Branch T and D.
To conditionally, thank you. To condition.
Long Branch T and D. And at condition 15, that materials must match design photos submitted on X date, and 16, conditional approval is valid for 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're voting on the motion, Cory.
Do we have a second on that?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'll second.
So this is
For
to,
the amendment.
okay, aye.
We're voting just on the amendment.
On the amendment, yes.
Why did you skip me?
No, you're going now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Why
then
did I go from Cory to? Oh,
No, he said aye.
no, I missed it. I missed it. I was like, what? I
He
didn't
was
hear him.
using his bitter.
I didn't hear him. He was more of a nod. I was still
Okay.
eating my chicken
So
scratch.
now, so now we vote on the motion. That's been amended.
That's better.
Thanks, Christie.
Aye.
Oh, no, it was
Sure.
called a vote, John.
Yeah.
Because he just went.
He went,
You're he.
Yeah, we did, they did, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, so you just went, so call the vote, John.
Okay,
no,
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
With the conditions.
With the conditions. All right, moving on. Second reading, consideration of ordinance 160, amending ordinance 137 to add law enforcement interlocal agreement. So yeah, so we had our first reading last meeting. This is our second reading. This adds, amended as follows: Montana Code annotated to include any changes to the MCA that occur after the effective date of this chapter shall be deemed to be automatically amend this chapter. Yeah, so it adds, an ordinance of the town of Ennis, Montana, amending ordinance 137 to chapter 13 Police Department, Ennis Code 113.1, 113.2, and 113.3. And it's whereas the town of Ennis enacted ordinance 137 on December 8th, 2011, found within chapter 13 entitled Police Department, the Ennis Town Code, which authorized, established, to govern Ennis Police Department, and whereas the changes in the Montana law, specifically 732-4101 MCA and the needs of the town require amendments to certain sections of the town police department code to ensure compliance and uniformity with Montana law. Now, therefore, in order to promote the public health and safety and general welfare of Ennis, Montana, it is ordained the town commission of Ennis as follows. Amendment, section 113.1, definitions, MCA code annotated to include any changes in the MCA that occur after this date of this chapter shall be deemed automatically amend this chapter. Section 113.2, police department authorized and required is amended as follows. 13.2, police department or alternative law enforcement contract or interlocal agreement required. There shall be a police department that must be organized, managed, and controlled as provided in this chapter, and it shall be known as Ennis Police Department in accordance with Montana law. An alternative to the establishment of a police department, the town may enter into a contract or interlocal agreement in full or in part with the state recognized local law enforcement agency with Madison County. 113.3, supervision of police department is amended as follows. The mayor has a charge of and supervision over the police department. The mayor shall appoint all members of the police department. The mayor shall appoint chief of police to manage and direct the police department. Subject to the provision of this chapter, the mayor may suspend, remove, or member of the officer of the force. The mayor shall make rules not inconsistent with provisions of this chapter, the other laws of the state, and ordinances of the town commission for the government, direction, management, or discipline of the police force. Effective date, this ordinance shall be effective 30 days after the second reading, and final adoption is provided by law. Section 3, retroactive application. This ordinance shall be retroactive to be deemed effective as of October 9th, 2025, and shall apply to all actions taken on or after that date. Section 4, repealer all resolutions, ordinances, and sections of the town code inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Section 5, severability. If any provision of this ordinance or application thereof to any person or circumstances is held invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions of this ordinance, which shall be given without the invalid provisions or application. And to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are declared to be severable. Boom. Okay. I have a motion.
Move to approve the second reading of ordinance 160, 2026, amending ordinance 137 to add a law enforcement interlocal agreement.
Second.
Discussion? Public comment? Any public comment?
Aye.
Oh, hearing none. Christie? Commissioner Ranson?
Aye.
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 All right. Motion passes. That is now an ordinance. Okay, fiscal year town 2027 town agreement for financial services hourly Montana League of Cities and Towns. Here's the new agreement. The rate did go up from $65 to $72 an hour. We've been spending about, I think, it's about $2,000 a month for them to do all of the financial stuff.
Help with the audit, right?
Yes, so they'll help with audit, they'll help with budget prep, all of those things. So they've been doing the payroll, they have asked you know, they handle all of our financial reporting.
2,000 a month has to be way less than what we were paying.
When you include benefits and everything.
Oh, yeah, sorry, that just came to my head and I was like, good.
That's why I think,
No brainer,
I
but-
think it's a very,
Yeah, good deal.
I think it's, and their expertise, right? They're former city clerks. One person actually worked for the Department of Administration, like, they know what they're doing, and I think that's why, so I think it's well worth it, so. Can we get a motion, or you wanna discuss it more? And it's for 1 year, it's from fiscal year to fiscal year. We did.
Is it a contract?
It's a contract, so you guys have to approve it, so I couldn't sign it without you. So our first contract was only for 6 months to get us through this fiscal year.
I move to approve fiscal year 27 town agreement for financial services hour
With the Montana.
with the Montana League of Cities and Towns.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Any public comments? Hearing none. Call vote. Just thinking.
Aye.
Resolution number 629, 2026, mayor and commissioners allowed to participate in MMIA employee benefits, subject to budget availability, or if they want to pay for it on their own. So we already made a motion about this, but you need a resolution. So, if you read through it, it just says that, public, elected officials are allowed to participate into the program. So, and we can determine the level of participation, it's like, oh, you have to pay 100% of it or whatever, we can determine that in the budget every year, so. But I think it is, a good thing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, Pacific Source Health. They are leaving the state of
We
Montana.
are, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So there'll pretty much be no choices for people who are on the marketplace, so.
I move to approve the resolution 629, a resolution of the town commission of the town of Ennis, Montana, authorizing the mayor and the members of the town commission to participate in the Montana Municipal Interlocal Authority Employee Benefit Program.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I think it's a good thing to have in place. Maybe we can retain commissioners for longer periods or a full term even.
Or mayors.
Or mayors, yes.
Any public comment? Going once?
Does that affect our rate, how many people we have on there? I'm sorry.
No, it does not. So they publish the rates.
Okay.
And whatever, and right now we have it set up that employees get to choose which level of stuff that they want, so, yeah. Yeah, but it does not, it is, they figure out the rates, but I think by how many people are participating across, because it's a self-funded insurance, but so healthcare trends are like at least 10%. They've been able to hold it to like 6 to 8% every year, and that's because they negotiate with all the hospitals in the state for a pre-published rate. And they're very aggressive on trying to keep rates down, and they have wellness programs and things like that. So it still grows way too much. So any public comment? Hearing none, call the vote.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. MDT agreement for rest area. So this is the rest area agreement for, so the agreement, well, I tried, so I tried to get $16,000 out of them. Looks like I only got 98.24.
Is that more than last year though? Isn't it normally?
What did you try to just say? Okay,
7,500
improvements?
Yeah, I tried to get them to epoxy the floor and paint other things. I asked for $16,000. Looks like we're getting $9,824. So hopefully that other tourism grant money comes through, we can epoxy the floors.
Who did you talk to with that, Todd?
No, it's a gal named Nikki, Gervanic, something like that. So anyway, really nice gal, but I think that's just what we got. So maybe some letters from the public would help, from the Lions Club and stuff like that. And maybe from the other people that use the park, letting them know, put a little political pressure on them that we would like to do that next fiscal year. But looks like we're in for $9,800. I think last year was $8,500, so it's a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
So.
And that covers the cost of cleaning it, supplies. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
some of
Some,
great,
I
right?
think Eric also wanted to replace the divider in there.
Or something, yeah.
And a couple of parts, so, yeah. So,
Do we need a motion?
yes, we need a motion because it is a contract, so I need your permission.
To approve resolutions.
It's
No,
not,
it's
it's just
not
a-
an agreement.
it's just an agreement.
With Montana Department of Transportation. What was there?
That's section.
And call the vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We didn't do public comment, does that matter?
Oh, was there any public comment? All right, last two things, workers' compensation quote. So we've got one from a firm in Butte through State Fund, whatever. Those guys are not very timely. They actually, Brenna submitted another set of numbers, but then realized they needed to be adjusted. And she asked them to adjust them, and then they kind of gone radio silent, and they've taken weeks and months to get back to us.
Is that because there's so many,
No, because there's a firm on.
or can you change people to work with State Fund, right? Because my insurance guy,
Yeah, so
Does
that's what we did, so we hired, or
Somebody else.
we signed with someone else, LaShawn, she's getting an updated quote, which will be to us by the 15th. So we will look at this on our June 25th meeting, so. All right, moving on, town hall apartment cleaning and renovations. By the date, I only got one quote, back to me in time. It was really high. We've gotten another quote and I'm working on a third one to do that. So, once I have all of those or many more quotes, I will bring those to you. So those will be another meeting. So there was.
Just for like.
So there's one quote just for the cleaning and for, the treatment, so it needs to be, especially cleaned to get the urine off the walls, the cat urine off the walls, and then sealed with primer, so that's just one quote. And
And
then,
we're charging that back to the tenant, correct?
well, we have requested, yeah, so, on that. And then the other quote, is to demo, if you guys would take a look up there, it's to demo the carpet. And then also, to add like a landing, because the way that's, I don't know if you guys have been up there or not. You just kind of walk into it and it's almost like you could fall down the stairs. So to add, there's room with a closet to add just like a door. So it's actually enter a door onto a landing and then go down the stairs. So, and then, to replace the flooring, also there's a enamel tub and then there's a fiberglass shower, which is in not great shape. So the thought was to maybe, after you guys visit it, is to take out that fiberglass shower, make that a closet and extend the tub into a shower to be more, I don't know, modern, but not really, So you would extend one foamy wall and extend the plumbing, so yeah, so I'm acquiring more quotes on those aspects of the apartment. So.
Okay.
Yes. So that's where we're at, so there's nothing to consider for this evening.
Schedule a walkthrough with you.
You can go up there anytime you want. Brennan's got the keys.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can walk you through what the thought is, but it's just to make a landing towards the top.
Okay.
If you so agree. All right, commission comments. Mr. Wade.
2 weeks ago, I had lunch with the governor and I sat down and chatted with him specifically about resort tax. And his quote to me was, if Ennis doesn't qualify, what qualifies?
Yeah.
So I know this was your baby, Corey, but I kind of proactively did some things here.
Turn some wheels.
Yeah, so I met with the governor. I have a meeting with the head of Department of Commerce and Sarah Swanson, the Commissioner of Department of Labor and Industry, to find out where these figures came from. I read the original bill from 2023 by Senator Hertz, and I don't believe the legislative intent behind the original bill is being followed. So I have a meeting with Senator Hertz as well set up. I think to do this, we're gonna require legislation. It's unfortunate that Walsh is no longer but we're gonna need to get somebody to carry it. I don't know if I'm good enough to get Hertz to carry it. He would be the ideal one, seeing as how he is the chairman of the taxation committee, which it's got to run through in the Senate. So, there's 8 key votes that we need to modify it. I think the bar was raised too high, and, there were 9 cities that applied and nobody has been approved. So I think the bar got raised too high. I don't think the legislative intent of what that bill was in 2023 is being followed, and we can go down that route. And I'm meeting with Senator Hertz on that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when you read the report, guess how many jobs they attributed to hunting and fishing in Ennis?
Like 2. Two.
Like the guys that own shops?
Many guys.
Any
No,
guys?
but just you and
Yeah,
Joe?
Yeah, that's it.
No, because they have to be employees.
They have to be employees. I'm not even an employee.
So they're not accounting that kind of thing. So I did talk with, this was at the municipal summit today. I would also encourage you, and I can make the introduction, is to talk to the Montana League of Cities and Towns, Jennifer Olson, because she agrees that it does take a legislative action. And so where it might be a little sticky is like, once that gets opened up, does it open up to a little bit? So, or,
to account.
Yeah.
to more other things. So it's gonna be, hey, we wanna open it up just for this little bit of a change. And so I would
We
encourage
need to
her.
get Senator Hertz on our side.
Yeah, but I would encourage you to talk to Jennifer Olson too. She was fantastic. Because everyone was like, what do you mean? Like Ennis is a tourism community.
Yeah.
And so if we don't apply, then no, or if we don't meet those.
Then how
criteria,
do-
then how does anybody else meet the bar, essentially?
Yeah.
So I
So,
appreciate you.
I know this was your thing, Corey, but I kind of
No,
drove through.
Corey at Walls.
I'm good. I'm burnt out on it.
Burn out on it. We started
I
this,
am.
7 years ago? We
So,
met with the guy
I
from
mean,
your staff.
if we're gonna do something for this legislative session, we gotta move fast. Bill drafts are due in July. If, with the way the primary went down, there's gonna be a lot of hurt feelings in Helena.
And those relationships maybe.
And those relationships are gone. So anything with a
Now's the
positive,
time to do it.
with a positive fiscal note probably won't get through. So we gotta figure a way to do this and have it come with a negative fiscal note.
Is Brian close on the taxation committee?
I don't know, but
No, okay, he was at the municipal summit today.
yeah.
Well, I think with the Montana League of Cities, that could be a huge push for you to get to.
They might know who could sponsor it or who could carry it.
Hertz has gotta carry it.
Okay,
There's only one person.
okay.
Who do they know, somebody that knows?
There's about 6 people up there that, if you want stuff like this done,
Yeah.
so, and he's one of them. So
Okay.
I have a meeting set with him in a couple of weeks.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
We
very
don't
much.
do anything?
No, I'll just report back to you. I mean, I know these folks in this work, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, but if you need anything, please let us know, we'll help.
But yeah, I mean, the governor, his comment to me was, if Ennis doesn't qualify,
Who does?
what does?
Yeah.
What town does?
Yeah.
And we did it to ourselves when we voted it down twice, but at the same time.
Well, and I mean, I encourage all of you to go read that bill, that 2023 bill, that changed the dynamic and the standards for qualifying for this. It was sneakily written. It's a sneaky
like
son of a
everything.
gun. But I don't think Department of Commerce, the way I read it, they're not following the legislative intent. I mean, the only way you'll force them on it is to have Hertz do it, but I think the better play is draft legislation, get someone to carry it, and then we just go lobby the hell out of it and get it pushed through.
And ultimately, it lands with the voters, right? So someone said in the municipal summit today, how much democracy do we want? You know, that's the ultimate thing philosophically, is that the voters get to decide. We get to decide our fate.
Yeah.
We should be able to get to decide our fate. And so, but thank you for that work on that, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Any other comments?
That's it.
Okay, Commissioner Rinson, what do you got?
I got nothing.
Okay. Commissioner Hankins?
I got nothing to.
Commissioner Hardy?
What's that?
Yeah, I attended a DNRC pre-function at the library the other, Tuesday, Karen. Yeah, that was, I don't know, it's really interesting. I don't really have any takeaways for you on it.
Did you plant a tree?
I took some home.
Sounds like a bad dude.
Yeah, honestly, I don't have anything really, so.
Mayor.
I've been busy. I went up to Helena, took a budget training with Montana League of Cities and Towns with the Jodies. So we did that. The municipal summit was today. We hosted that as a community. So we rented a space from the school. We provided breakfast, and it was good. The folks from West Yellowstone were there. They have the resort tax. It was the town manager, the deputy clerk, and maybe the finance officer, and they were like, they're saving grace, you know, and it's our 3 closest geographical communities, Big Sky, West Yellowstone, and Virginia City all have it.
All have it.
So when you start.
Again, if you look at how the legislation is written, it has to be people who live here, you know. 30% of our houses are second homes here in Ennis, and so they're not accounting for those. Everybody that lives here and works in Big Sky, those jobs aren't accounted for either.
They're working in tourism.
But they're working in tourism at a place that has a resort tax as well. So, I mean, I think I can make a pretty good argument for it, but yeah.
For sure. Also, we have that request for proposal for engineering firms. I've been meeting with several engineering firms. They wanted us to meet us, see what our needs were, everything else. Special event permits, I've been doing that as well. So that is taking up a substantial amount of time, because like this, I have to give everybody a list of conditions. I have to make sure that they're meeting all the conditions, and then they get their permit. So it has been very busy. I will probably be proposing that we not necessarily change the special events permit, but put more things for consideration. So whoever is sitting in the seat knows to be like, oh, maybe you could suggest porta potties or off-street parking or signage or wayfinding or those types of things to give it more refinement. And also maybe look at, a schedule throughout the year. Maybe we sit down in January and say, okay, we're allowing events these weekends, because it is really taxing on our resources. Even though one of the events, they're providing private security, but the sheriff's department was like, no, we'll have a deputy on duty,
Yeah,
and so,
you can't just,
and so it's substantial. And so we need to, maybe we can,
block out event dates?
well, block them out or steer them towards other dates, that would be more so that we don't have a bunch of events at the same
The
time.
busiest time of, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and we're spreading our resources then,
Makes sense.
it was, yeah. So, yes, we've been doing a lot of that. I don't know if I forwarded you the Great West Engineering thing on the pretreatment did come through. It is lengthy, so you guys can go ahead. I'll forward it to you.
I don't think so.
So I'll forward it to you. I apologize if I had it. That just came in the other day. So they've completed that task order of helping us define
Finish
our,
the pre-treat ordinance that they had us put in.
well,
Oh, they did. We did.
yeah, so I think it's how to administer the one that we have. So, and I, honestly, I haven't read all the way through it because I've been working on other things. So we will have a meeting June 25th. So plan to be here, please. And then we also obviously have to have a meeting next week, just a quick one regarding the well house project. So do we have a preference for next week, the day? Should we just knock it out on, we could post something tomorrow for Tuesday?
That's fine with me.
I'm good most nights.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So with what was discussed tonight with Colette, is that gonna require a task change order?
No, I don't believe so, because it was the additive alternate. So it was already mentioned in the project. It was just, we're gonna wait to do that.
Task change
So we're not
orders,
getting-
more money.
Yeah. So you charged on top of the addition.
No, I think what she laid out in the, and I'll forward, she should have forwarded that to me, I'll forward it to you. So I think our questions there are the street situation with the county and see if we can get that ironed out and see if we can, maybe if we say we're willing to warranty it for, I don't know, 5 years. So if it does sink, that we would repair it, or I don't know, because I don't know, maybe 2 patches are cheaper than a bore. I don't know how much a road patch is, so that's another piece of the pie. So, but we'll find a resolution to that.
In time, you had today. Yeah. You guys had.
Yeah, so yeah, we can do Tuesday, if you wanna give me a few more days, or maybe Wednesday.
I'm pretty open. You let me know what works.
Anybody else?
Tuesday.
Okay, I will get to work. Hopefully we can have a resolution on Tuesday. I guess we don't. Yeah, well, yeah, the contractor will need to know. So yeah, what time on Tuesday? We wanna do early?
So, yes.
Like 5?
5:36, whatever.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I can work on that.
I'm just gonna call in if it's just a vote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you have service.
I'll show up.
Sorry, Tuesday at what time? 5 works.
5:30? Does that work?
Why don't you post it and send it to us? When you have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, it's up to you guys, what time you wanna be here.
I'd
5:30.
say just the 6:15 normal time.
Okay, 6:15.
That works
I
for
mean,
me.
Keep it consistent. Okay.
I'm working out cell reception. So.
Oh, I thought you were home.
Okay. Any
That was
unscheduled matters? Is there anything else for June 25th that you would like to consider on that meeting? We'll have the local government review, final document.
Start budget stuff or no,
Well,
not
yeah,
at
we'll
all?
kind of start with budget stuff. Yeah.
Is there
if
stuff
there's
you
any-
can start with?
Well, I think it's just
So
basic.
can we, but like a wish list of dumb
Yeah,
stuff, like the
please do.
resort tax, that's gonna have money if we do pursue anything there, it's gonna need money.
Yeah, but if you do have a project like we did have, I don't know. Yeah, we can,
I don't
and then put in the CIP, you know, we can put stuff in
Got it.
CIP, or we can put in, you know, something that was missing out of this year's project was commissioner projects. So then that way you allocate some funds if you
Just in
want,
case
if
something
there's a
comes up.
project that you
Okay,
want,
yeah.
that you would like to do, that is, something like that. So think about those types, of things as well. You know, and we can kind of go from there, so, yeah, please bring those forward to me if you have any ideas, and we can see what we can do, but also we have that, since the tax rates were all jumbled up,
We can't do much.
well, we just don't know, it's a stab in the dark as to what our taxable value is.
Yeah.
So,
I would be conservative this year.
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Move to adjourn.
okay.
Second. Hi. Hi.
Okay.
Oh.
No.
Coming back on Tuesday, so.
No.